Hi, welcome to another episode. I'm going to be bringing this Haas OM-2 online. This is my first time using a machine like this. I did some research and I did some guessing, and I'm going to show you how I leveled the machine, got it hooked up, and got it moving. Welcome to another episode. So in the last video, I was a little bit frustrated because I didn't have electricity. Obviously I do now. In other words, 220 for the machine. Now there's a good thing that happened as a result of publishing that video, even though I was a little bit frustrated, which is I got some messages from two people on Facebook who are in the neighborhood and have Haas machines. One of them happens to have the exact same model, which is really cool. So he graciously offered to come over, and with any luck he'll be over tomorrow, to help finish setting up the machine and run me through it so that I don't make any stupid mistakes and to improve my chances of success. He also offered to bring over some Blazer, not sure how that's you pronounce it, Synergy 735 coolant. That's perfect because that's exact coolant that I was thinking about buying for this machine, and then I haven't purchased it yet. So let's head back in time, and I'm going to show you the process I took getting this machine to this point here. All right, let's try this again. Okay, that sounds different. I can hear a fan coming on, so that sounds good. All right, let's see what happens. So I'll try the same thing again. I'll do power on. That's very different from before. And the screen's coming up, so that's good. So it's November 4th, 2009. That sounds about right for my machine. And it says servo's off, tube changer is disabled, coolant pump is off, motor stopped, caused by emergency stop. Okay, so I think I need to read the manual. All right, I found the section of the manual that says machine power up. So it says that I'll get the servos off, and then pressing the reset button a couple times will clear the alarms. Yeah, and I'm still getting the low air pressure, so my guess is that the real issue is that it won't power up until I have air pressure. When I purchased the machine, it did not come with a cap for the beacon, so I took some measurements and then made a 3D print. And as you can see, it fits very nicely and works really well. One of the things I wanted to do when I got the machine is find out how much memory is in it, because I was told it had something like 750 megabytes, which is great. I wanted a lot of memory. So let's see how much it actually has. I figured out how to find it by searching on the net, and that is to go to list programs, and then to memory, press the right enter key, and then down here it tells me how much memory I have free. So you can see here what it's saying is I have 1 megabyte of memory. That's not what I was hoping to see. So I'm going to have to do some research because I'm not sure that's enough memory for some of the toolpaths that I'm going to have. After discovering that my machine only had 1 megabyte of RAM, I did some more research, and good news, I discovered that the USB port here takes a thumbstick. I knew that. But the good news about this USB port right here is that I can use this for programs. I don't have to load the programs into memory. So I can execute the programs directly from the thumbstick. So that means my large programs, some of which can be several megabytes, will fit into this just fine, and I'll be able to run the programs without having to worry about the internal memory. Okay, I'm going to power off the machine and then start working on leveling the machine. So I'll press the emergency stop and then press power off. And in case you're wondering why I still have the blocks in here, and you haven't watched the first part of the video, it's because I need to figure out how to hook the air compressor up to this machine so that I can lift the spindle. This is in the original shipping position. So I'm going to try to level it and get it ready so that when I do hook up the air, it's all set to go. And I want to do that because, as I mentioned, I have someone coming over to help me get the machine set up tomorrow. So I want to get as much prep work as I can done before he arrives. So let me spray some WD-40 on here. And you can see, definitely needed to do that. It was definitely not clean. Before leveling, I purchased 2 precision levels from Haas. This one, which is an 8-inch level, and the other one, which is a 12-inch level. I have a granite surface plate here, and I have the level on it. So the first thing I wanted to do is to calibrate it. It comes with these calibration screws already covered. The granite plate I don't think is perfectly level, but it doesn't have to be level, it just has to be close to level. So let me put it on the edge so I have a reference direction to see where we stand, and this is close to touching that division there. It's actually touching that division there. So I'm going to use that division, and then I'll rotate this 180 degrees, check it again, and it should be on the same division here after it settles down. So it's not exactly there, and what that means is that I can pull out a screwdriver. I'll adjust a little bit more. Have I mentioned it's really sensitive? So now in both directions, the bubble touches right there. So that means this is now calibrated, and I can put the cap back on. The mill is sitting on top of 4 screws. These are leveling screws that have a 3/4 inch hex on the top. And then the screw is sitting on top of these round pucks. What that means is I can just rotate this and level the mill. I have a ratchet wrench because there isn't enough room for another type of wrench in here. So I can just put this on here, and then I want to make really slight adjustments, like so, when you're getting close to leveling. And then you can go this way for the other way. When I first start, I'll probably do 3 cranks to get it close, and then when I get really close, then I'm going to use smaller and smaller adjustments on this because it gets more and more sensitive as the level gets closer and closer to center. The approach that I'm taking to leveling is to adjust 2 screws at a time, either the 2 screws on the right side or the 2 screws on the front side. By doing 2 at a time, that means that I'm just focusing on one axis at a time, so either the x-axis or the y-axis. By focusing on those 2 axes, I'll get the bed pretty much centered. What it won't deal with, though, is twist. I'm not sure how to level and deal with twist. That's something where I'd need to do some research. So after I do the research, I'll probably do a final bit of leveling to get out the twist. Okay, I think you get the idea. I'm going to keep doing this, and then after a while I should get close. It's still quite a distance away. This is the setup that I'm using for leveling the table, and you can see it's already pretty close to level at this point. I have the 12-inch level this way because the table is wider this way, and then I have the 8-inch this way. Having the 2 levels is really nice because there's interactions between the X and the Y as I'm adjusting feet. And so I can look at a glance to see how I'm doing. All right, I figured out why I was having problems getting the air hose on here. This part right here is a little bit longer than the others. So I just have to push a little bit harder and then it stays in place. Okay, I've read a little bit of the manual. According to the manual, and I'm pretty sure I did this before, it says that you have to press the power up reset button, and then once you do that, it will automatically move to home the axis. So let me try that again. Power up reset. Look at that! I have motion! Awesome! Okay, now it's home in the x-axis and the y-axis. Trying to change the tool in the tool changer. That's cool. Okay, I still don't know what I'm doing, so I'm going to try one thing, which is to jog in the X. So two things. First, I need to get a better compressor, one that has more capacity so it doesn't cycle as much. The other thing is I need to cut a hole through the wall back there so I can put the compressor on the other side of the wall and run the airline in through here. I haven't figured out where I'm going to run the airline yet, which is why I haven't done that. So I want to get the machine running and then get some opinions about how best to run the airlines. So now I'm going to go look at the manual again and figure out how to move the axes, and then I'm going to call it a day. Okay, I'm back, and I think I figured it out. Over here, there's another set of buttons, and one of them says hand jog. That probably sounds like the right one. So let me press the hand jog, and let's see what happens. Now I'm going to press X, and I'm going to grab onto the wheel and see. It's moving the X-axis, and it's not moving very fast, but you can see it's moving. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to change how much it's moving. Here you can see it's set to 1/1000ths per jog increment, and so I want to change it to 10/1000ths. Okay, now you can really see that it's moving back and forth. This is the table on the machine. It's 20 inches wide by 10 inches deep. I think I mentioned before the travel is 12 inches this way and 10 inches this way. One of the things I was trying to figure out is what type of vise I could put on here. But the width of the T-slot is 11 millimeters. And I can find 10 millimeter T-slot nuts, and I can find 12 millimeter T-slot nuts, but nothing in between. After doing some research, I discovered that I could use 7/16 T-slot nuts, and they fit perfectly. And so I've ordered a clamping kit from Haas. I also ordered a vise from Haas because when this is against the back, there's very little room, so I can't have the vise overlapping the back. Now from here to the front, there's also not a lot of room when it's in the front position, only about 2 extra inches. And so that means the maximum distance there is 12 inches. So after some looking again from the fellow owner of a OM-2, he showed me a photograph of the Haas vise he had, and then from that I was able to find it on Haas. It's a 4-inch vise, and it's 11 inches from here to here. So that'll fit perfectly on the table. So I'm pretty excited about that. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Also, you might want to click the bell down below to make sure you are notified when I have a new video, because I don't publish videos on a regular schedule. I publish them when I have content. Again, thanks for watching. Please comment as well, and I'll see you next time when we should have chips being made by this machine.